I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of what to do for your Excel assignment. Use this video to help you get through it. You can pause and add things and then play it again. You can back it up and watch something again if you need help. So let's move forward. What you're going to do is open up that Graphit link. When you get to the assignment page, click on this gray button to open up the Excel spreadsheet. Now I want to point out to you, when you do that, it opens up this OneDrive tab. Keep this tab open. You're going to use it again, okay? So what I want to point out is on this page, you'll see you've got up in the top right corner, you have an Edit Document button and a Submit Assignment button. Right now, you want to click the Edit Document button. So go ahead and do that, and then I am also going to open mine so that I can edit it. So when you clicked on that, it opens a new tab. That's why I say keep that OneDrive tab open, because you're going to use that again. Here I am on my spreadsheet. Let me put myself in edit mode. All right. So first off, this area right here is your data table. This is where you're going to enter in information, and this is also what you're going to use to create your chart. So the first thing you'll do is in these two cells here under test subject, you're going to put in your name and your partner's name. In these 6 cells to the side of it, you're going to put in the average respiratory rate for those different categories. So that means you're not using rate 1, rate 2, rate 3. You're only using the averages that you calculated. Go ahead and pause the video and enter in your data, and then when you're done putting that stuff in, you can play again. All right, so now you've got your data table figured out. Since mine is empty, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down and use my sample one, but you're still going to be using your table up here, okay? So how you select your data is click and hold down on test subject and drag this over so that you have all 12 cells selected. But keep in mind, you don't want to select any of this stuff out here. You don't want to select these out here. You only want those 12 cells of your data table. Once you've got them selected, you are going to, on the ribbon across the top, go to the Insert tab, and then you'll see there's an area here where you can put in a chart or graph. For this assignment, you're going to use a line graph. But as you're working on this, I do want you to take some time to play around with it a little bit and use this menu. See, I've got my chart selected still. Use this menu. I want you to click on some other options and see the different things that Excel can do. This is a really great tool that you can use to make numbers be visual concepts. It's a great way to make things easy to understand, and this is a really valuable tool for communicating things. So play around with it, see all the different things it can do, but then come back to the line graph, because that's what you're going to be submitting to me, okay? So the next thing is you need a title. My name is not a good title, because does that tell you at all what this is a graph of? It doesn't tell me what I'm looking at. So you're going to change your title to something that clarifies what it is this chart is displaying. I'm not going to tell you what to write, because that's why I want you to write something. So I'm just going to write title there. But you will put in a title that clarifies what the graph is showing. Now, the next thing you need to add is you're going to give axis titles. That means you're going to label the x-axis, so you're going to label the x-axis, and you're going to label the y-axis. Okay, that is up here on axis titles. So let's start with your x-axis. Now, I'm going to do the one that says title below axis. Your x-axis is your independent variable. That is the thing that we changed on purpose to test out and see how that would make our data different. So I want you to think about this experiment and think about what was it that we were changing, and that's what you need to name the x-axis. Since I don't want to give y'all any answers, I want you to think of it on your own. I'm just going to write independent variable here. But yours should not say independent variable. Yours needs to say what our independent variable was. Now I'm going to add a label for my y-axis. So I come back up to the axis titles menu. I choose the vertical axis. And I'm going to do this one right here. Your y-axis, the vertical one, this is going to be your dependent variable. But again, your label should not say dependent variable. Yours should actually be saying what it was. So remember, the dependent variable is the data collected. Think about this experiment. What were you measuring? That is what you'll put over here as your label, okay? So once you've got your line graph, your title up here, you've got your axis labels, and also make sure you still have a legend. Sometimes people accidentally delete things. If you accidentally delete something, you can always add it back in. You can add a legend. You can add data labels. If something deletes, you can add it right back in. Now that I've got my completed chart, you can leave yours right next to your data table like what you see me doing here. So I've got mine next to, well, now it won't move. I've got mine right here next to my data. Yours, you can leave right up here next to your data table. Then I want you to go back to the OneDrive tab that I told you earlier, keep it open because we're going to use it again. So I go back to OneDrive, and it's grayed out and you have a little window there with a button that says refresh. Click that, and then you'll be able to click the green submit assignment button up in the top right corner, and then you're good to go. So thank you for taking time to finish up your assignment today. I'm very proud of you. I know it's hard to sit down and make yourself do work on a Friday or on the weekend, but sometimes this is what it takes. So you're doing it right. You're making it happen. Have a great weekend.